All right, morning team. Morning everyone. Just a heads up, might be a shorter stream today. I really don't think I've slept much at all. Not been well overnight. So I just want to get you prepared now in case I do take a downturn on stream. All right. As ever, we are chopping in this high volume node. Okay, we've done it before, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. All right, so we're watching this gray box, okay, because at the moment we can't find acceptance out of it either way. After a failed breakout last week, we've come inside, we've come to the bottom side of it, and the 50-day we found a bid, and we'll see if we can get back outside of it, or if that's just going to be a turn back down inside again. All right, so the edge of that box we're kind of watching towards 880s, possibly even a little poke above into 30,000s, and then a fail, very much like yesterday. All right, very much like yesterday. If we move into the hourlies, all right, you can see the compression at the lows. Remember, we hit the key levels yesterday. This was into our weekly expected move. Overnight, we finally came into this blue box. If you traded with me yesterday, this was here for you. All right, it was already there for you. We expect a bid to be found here. Overnight, they had 1 attempt, 2 attempts, 3 attempts after a sweep, a fail to break lower. Shorts are now caught at the lows, and you're now starting to see the first higher low and the drive back up to this node we were looking at yesterday. All right, so if you remember, 780s potentially up to previous week point of control is a level of interest for me. So 780s up towards 880s, about 100 points there. This is an area where I'm interested if the market does stuff it back down. All right, the difference now is from yesterday when we opened up, we were opening up here. All right, if we'd come up here, we could have looked for this drive down. Now we have to respect the volume being built out. We have to respect the volume being built out if we're going to look for that move. So there's a two-sided tape here, because if you think about what we have, this is the low side of the high volume node. This is the high side of volume node, right? And this is your 4-month volume node, right? So we have to be cognizant of that now. We are right in the middle of it. So what do we have? Well, we are gapping up. Clear gap up. We are holding currently over previous day value area high. So if they're willing to hold the bid there, it's very simple. They're going to look for this drive in towards 800, possibly up towards this previous week point of control, 900. Now in here, if we see ambitious bulls come flying in and there is passive selling still up here, I'll be looking for a short back down. The cover points will be in here towards 700. And if we let go of that, we can think about the covers into 600. I'll be out most of the position there. If that changes and we just, regime takes over and we start getting heavy, well, then we can think about overnight lows and the trade all the way down to 200. And this would be our current day expected move maximum. We are near the expected move maximum right now for the top side. So this is our potential range for the day. Now we don't have to stay in that, but that's kind of it. In fact, let me just put this on to double check that. I'm pretty sure that would be right. Yes, there we go. All right, so we're there or thereabouts. All right, we're coming into top side. All right, we expect failures here. We can find a bid here. If we don't find a bid there, the next blue box is possible if we fail underneath. All right, so it's a two-sided trade today. You have to make your decision on which side you want to play for or whether you're playing for both. If we don't push early, all right, so if we push early, we can wait for it and look for this trade back down. If we flush early, all right, if we don't come up here and if we just trade down and we catch a bid anywhere in front of this gray node, all right, and we start to hold, that's a potential long trigger. If we get back above value, that's an add, and then that's the move back up there, all right? So it'd be long to value, you might take a partial, break over, hold value, and then it's a long back up here, all right? So these are the pathings today, all right? To make that clear, if we flush, we're looking for something like this. Once we get up here, we're probably looking for this, and then maybe down here. If for some reason the market comes out with news and maybe everything in Iran's calmed down and whatever, all right, can't rule out some obscene move like this. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm just saying don't rule it out because we are very thin since that break. And once we get up there, well, that's an A+ short. If we get up there on a squeeze, that is an A+ short back down. So just be aware of it. Just be aware of it. I doubt it comes, but just be aware of it. I want to have you guys prepared. Right, in terms of GEX, we are now positive. right? We're over our 0 line, all right, for the day. And we have a big old cool wall up here near previous week point of control. All right, so if we can see this move here, there is very good confluence up there to be a seller. All right, this is the area we want to be a seller in. There's very good confluence once we get up there to be a seller back down. If we lose the 0 line, then we are also going to lose the value area, all right, the big high volume node. And then there's actually very good confluence for the negative gamma to take over. And look, all the way down here is possible today. All right, so be willing to play both sides. At the moment, we are returning back upside. Okay, lower time frame. Let's check ES. Let's get the flow zones on so we can see the gaps. There we go. And let's just take the delta off for a second. There we go. Okay, so clear gap up here, just so you're aware, gap is in that high volume node. All right, so we want dips to hold, and up here we want failure patterns back down. ES is kind of similar. The only difference is semis are having a big shove up today. All right, here goes ES, starting to flip this zone. All right, same kind of thing. Just shy of this move, but the whole number held, 700. All right, there's your failed break. That's where shorts always get stuck. There's compression in here. That's the relief. Okay, and now you're just looking to see if they flip this now and hold this bid. So if we just flip these over. And then we can have one of you down here. All right, these are the levels I'll be looking at. So very simply, you're asking the question, can ES hold around the 740s? Right, if it can hold the 740s, you're looking for this drift up to this old gap fill, right, into 770s and previous day high up there. All right, and we'd expect it to fail from up there. If it keeps squeezing, great, but we'd expect that to fail up there, back down to here. If we get heavy under this, either this morning or after a big failure, then the next rotation is another 20 points lower. All right, so that's what you need to be willing for. Over this, we're looking for that. Under this, you're looking for this, unless they trap and reclaim, you're looking for this. Up here, we expect failures. If they keep squeezing, so be it. All right, same kind of story on spiders. Imagine it looks pretty clean on SPY so far. Yeah, it does. All right, so same levels. And one of these guys. All right, exactly the same levels. Trying to get up to close this old gap. 772.71 if you're looking for that gap fill. There is a cool wall up there. All right, up here we expect failures. Down here we want it to hold. If it doesn't, down here, same story. Qs. All right. Big compression at the lows. Remember, they don't trade overnight the same way futures do. Compression at the lows. Failed to break lower once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Relief through the pivot. All right, we want 720s to hold. 720s to 719s. We want that bid to hold. We're going to come and search for this liquidity up here. All right, and maybe once it gets up there, there's a swipe, and then we'd expect failures. All right, so at the moment, lower time frame, we are bullish, and we just have to wait to see what happens. Is in here. Okay, so why the relief? Crude flushed early, but it's still in the range. I'm going to zoom you out here. All right, we talk about this. I think we went over this pattern yesterday on the daily. We're going to go over it now. All right, late bulls, washed out, reclaim if they hold, new prices for highs. Still very dangerous. Everything over 80. This is still very, very bullish right now. If it reclaims that, it's dangerous on crude. All right, and we are not seeing this pressure. We are seeing energy breakout. We are seeing diesel breakout. There are inflation warnings there. It will be problematic if it continues. It's a matter of time. We priced some in yesterday. It was rebound today for a rebalance. We'll see if those sellers step back in. VIX, all right, coming back down into this key level, which we've now flipped, filling its gap. Right, and the question is, does VIX find a bid back out of this? Remember, it's OPEX week, so Thursday really, it's fireworks probably start Thursday to Friday, right? And it won't be as clean, I would doubt, Thursday to Friday. So we see if VIX can get back up towards 16s. If not, then we go into a dull, grindy market. Dixie is cracking, all right, and that's a big reason right now that this market's seeing the relief. There's your line in the sand, all right. If we come to a daily, there's your line in the sand. We are cracking that line in the sand. So we've now failed to hold up here. We're coming back down inside, right? And if we keep seeing this, market can lift off that. It can. All right, mags. In a range, still inside of yesterday's range, underneath these clear pivots up here. So we have like, we can draw an extra one in here if we want. All right, very simple. Mags inside of yesterday's range. It also has this old gap fill to look for. And we'll see if we can bid over this. We're going to go for 67, 68s. And maybe if they get really lucky, they get a shove up here this week. All right, but so far, just compression and range. Let's flip this. If we zoom out, right, we don't have a whole lot of structure, if I'm honest. So this pullback's got to start holding soon. If we think about this breakout here, we are probably approaching 50%. Yeah, there we go. So maybe down here, this is a flag pattern, pull back into here. But if we come a bit deeper, then it's then I think the mag will want to find a bid. But so far, just inside yesterday's range. If we come for semiconductors, we can see where the strengths come from. All right, pretty bullish out the gate here this morning on semis. Here's our line in the sand that they've reclaimed. All right, so structure now been built out. Our semis willing to hold these pivots. All right, but overall they're bearish. Remember, it's a counter trend rally, lower time frame bullish. It's a counter trend rally, and we would expect sellers to be hanging out in some of these zones. All right, is this sold down? If it's sold down and a bid's found, then we come and retest again. This would be the ping pong over here. You can see there's a lot of relief available once they start to get going over all of this. In fact, let me clean this up a bit and move it. How are we doing for time? We've got to get a move on here. And IGV starting to base out here. All right, remember, same kind of thing. It's washing out. It's had a huge move. It's building liquidity here. It needs to get back inside this range to continue higher. If it keeps failing here, it will revisit lower, all right, because it's now leaving this range. So it needs to get back inside for upside pressure. Otherwise, this happens. If this happens, then I imagine semis start running back up because they are trading inversely. We are, remember, rotating from one to the other. Right? When we see this, semis were weak. When we saw this, actually we had one day where they went together, and now we're building out a range, and we have to see if they rotate again. Individual names will be very, very quick here because we're running out of time. Apple holding really well, coming back up towards highs here, doing a really good job to try and reprice and get up towards 15s. Pretty good. Any base over 08s again still looks good. Opening up pretty much flat on the day. Amazon, shove up this morning. Again, holding pivot inside yesterday's range, gapping up on the day. Goog, that looks weaker, gapping down on the day. Can't get back inside of yesterday's key levels. Meta, still weak. All right, there's still more flushes than this. A lot of this was off the Snap court case yesterday. All right, so you've got states now suing social media for it being addictive towards children. All right, so just be aware of why this is happening. It's a state-based lawsuit, not an individual. So it's big. Microsoft, all right, keeps getting stuffed into a range. That doesn't look too good. It's got to get break above that to get going for the day. Nvidia running with semiconductors. We'll see if this can turn into a leader. It's now got a base. If it can hold over 220s, 221s, then maybe we can try and get upside to 225s again. And Tesla looking a bit better there, chopping around, and it is looking a little bit better there. All right, folks, here we go. So we'll see here this morning if we're willing to hold value, all this grey box for the bid back into the top side of this. And if we come up here, we'll see if there is a failure pattern for us to get short into. It's that simple. Nice and patient here. Semis 135 is your level where they keep failing up. 130 is where they want to find the bid. Here we go, back down in towards value area low. And if we lose this, we come back down into this grey box. Let's get rid of this. And then see if they can find a bid down here, possibly even into that grey box on the flush. Can we get some volume? Where are you, Mr. Volume? Here we go. So interested if they bid this and reclaim. Otherwise, we'll watch the grey box for a bid. There's the bid. And there's the reclaim. And see if we can hold this now. And we'll try and bid up with it. If they can hold it. Seller coming in here at 77s. I want to see if we hold 65s here or not. And if we do, we can try and bid it out to the upside. Otherwise, we'll try at this grey box. I'm not going to play short here. Could hold a 65. Still liquidity lower. Trying to see if I can get a bid into this. See if semis want to hold this 130s. Here we go. Can you come into 30, 65 and 60s and show me? Big battle here. There's the bid out. Never got any size. Well, if we break back above 700s, we can try and add in for a long. Be very careful here. I mean, really flushing out enough for me. Semis bidding 130s like we talked about. Here it goes. If they can bid over this, I will add. No, they can't hold it. Here we go. Here we go. Can you hold this bid now over New York Open? If they can hold the bid over New York Open, I'm going to try and get an add here. Tiny size into 65. I'm going to try and get this move here. If we can hold this bid. If we can't hold this bid, we want to be very careful of a reflush down here. It's very, very tricky here for the Open. It's a great hold on semiconductors into 130. If you read the notes this morning, 130 was the hold. They held 130. They're back up to the midpoint. They will try and attack 135 now. Here we go. This is better. Okay, fantastic. See if we can break out through the highs here and then squeeze up here if possible. So we want all dips now to hold in towards 700. Here comes the move to 700. They have to hold this. Expect them to complete the move higher now if they can hold this. If they can't, we retest the grey box below. So it's all about this 700 hold here. Washing machine has started here. Semi's bidding, mag's not bidding. All right, into this key level. If they can't hold this, I'm out. Out here. Give it a go, scratch trade. Might come down to this grey box. Otherwise, I can have another go at this. So it might come down to the grey box now. If they base back above, I'll have another go at it. This is on mag weakness at the moment. They might want to close their gap on the mag. That's the only thing. Very surprised we didn't complete that auction higher there. They had the chance to do it, so need to make note of that. Semis come back down to 130 again. VIX trading back upside again. There is a chance we come to this grey box now and bid out of that. I'm surprised we haven't taken all these highs, I will be honest with you. Semis back down to 130, so they're going to close their gap now as well. And this move down here now is possible. I won't be trading the short down there. I'll wait for the long down here if we come in. So we haven't broken the highs to get down there. So I don't want to get caught trading down there. I'd rather try and see if I can get long out of this. And I really want what the fuck is that? And I really want to get short up here if possible. A bit like yesterday. Feels like yesterday. All right, gap now filled on mags. Oh no, semi, sorry. Mags finding a bid. We didn't take out the low there. Just going to chop around here now. There was absorption down there. I expect the grey box to come in now, really, honestly. Fucking hell, mate. Can we not move stuff, Alex? I expect this to come in. Yeah, semi's weak, under 130 now. And they can come back down to that neutral zone at 125. If they lose that, they can come 120 for the day, which will mean we will never get the short opportunity if we do that. So hopefully that won't be the case. This will be a repeat of yesterday if that happens, where it doesn't hit my targets to get short, the red box above, and it just fails. Hopefully that will not be the case. There are bids down here all the way down to 600 at the moment. And what's the top of this grey box? Yeah, there or thereabouts. Feels like we're going to go for gap fill here. So just going to sit still. Let this come in and make a decision when it gets there. Hopefully it does get there. Right, Mag's bidding back upside. Semi's looking for that 125 now. And I'd be concerned if they lose the bid at 125 on semis. Very, very, very concerned because we go neg gamma on the day on them. Retest your previous day value area high potentially here before they move lower. No, not even strong enough to get there. Just instant stuff. Sellers hammering in this now. And the semis are weak. This is all from here. Get this pin high and just drop. Slapped back down. Okay, we're moving so quick now. Bookmap's giving me warnings that it can't keep up with the data going through. Just a heads up in case you're trading with Bookmap at the moment. All right, still liquidity to be filled down towards 600. Semis are still trying to get down to 125. The washing machine is still taking place with mags now breaking out towards the upside. They're trying to get through the midpoint up towards that VWAP and New York high for the session. I would imagine we're going to come to this grey box now. We're almost there, and we might as well come and fill the gap at this point. Leverage coming out of this market right now, it seems. These semis are going to have to bid 125. If they don't, they're going 120s. If they go under 120s, this market's going to be in big problems. It is a shame they did not want to lift this high enough for the sell this morning. This is 2 days in a row where I'd have loved this to have moved higher from the sell, and they are just unwilling to do it. Did we go wick to wick? We pretty much did go wick to wick on that 8 AM wick from last Wednesday. Still they're saying they're hammering in this right now. These sellers are piling in to get this gap fill. And honestly, here we go, semis into 125. Now, if semis can't bid 125 now and we get under this grey box, the market's going to be in big problems very early here today. Very early in big problems. So there's the gap fill. And there's still lower prices available. And semis are under 125. There's nothing I can do with this, folks. Now, unfortunately, we didn't push high enough for me to get the trade I wanted. This is just like yesterday. Semis are falling out of bed. They've lost the zero line. They can go neg gamma if they wash much more. We've filled the gap. This is an area I would be interested in bidding on, but not with the weakness we're seeing in semiconductors. This can flush and flush and flush and flush, and there's just no way of me getting involved. It's very much like yesterday. It's frustrating. It's very, very, very frustrating because I wanted to get long just up to here and then to slip short down to this grey box, and under this grey box, move lower. If semis can find a bid over 125, maybe we'll consider the long back out of here, but my days, this is 2 days in a row they've done the same thing. Very, very hard. They ain't making my life easy. Let's see. Right, back through 125 semis. Where did that seller come in? 600? No. Slapped. Absolutely slapped again on that poke above 125. I don't think this is done, and I'm not going to fight with semiconductors getting slapped around like this. They're going to have to really finish selling. We've got previous day value area low here, previous week value area low, all down here if they want to come down for it, and previous day low, and this grey box, and overnight low. And yeah, it's literally like yesterday. It is exactly like yesterday. Missed it. I mean, not really. It didn't come in. This is like yesterday. I was there for it. It just didn't come in. This is just like yesterday. And now they've done finished semis, and they're selling mag down to previous day close, and they're holding semis. So I don't know what happens here. They're now selling the mags back down. Semis are trying to find a bid. Mags is trying to be sold down to close its gap now as well. Semi's holding the bid. Mag hasn't quite completed its lower day into PDC. It's come short of that. I'll consider a bid out of this if it can really prove, but it feels unlikely at the moment. Here goes semis. The problem is they can get stuffed straight into 127s here, which is what happened last time. Massive bid out from them. They're going to come up for 127 check. Mag's finding a bid in front of PDC. If we can hold back inside of value, I'll consider it. It's a very tough trade now, but this is the area I was willing to bid off, so I'll consider the long here if we can hold. I have to be very tight with my risk here if we do have a go at it. Watching this to see if we hold value here. Okay, a little piece on here. See if we can get back to previous day value area high here, back through Globex lows. We'll get through 640s to get to 660s. And we've got to hold the bid at 600, basically. There is an imbalance under 600 they can come back for. Hopefully they don't do that, but that's what we're looking at the moment. Here comes semis, 127 check, like I talked about. They can get stuffed here. This is the danger of this trade right now. Ideally, we squeeze right the way back up here. I'm not going to let it come under 600. If it comes under 600, I'm just going to stop out, and then I'll have another go if we can turn around. Hopefully we hold here. There's the stuff into 127. Good hold of 600. Come on. Nice. Let's go 640 and then up to 670s here, please. Oh my God, we can't get through Globex. Can we get through 640, please? Come on, get through this VWAP and lift for me. Semis into VWAP, failing 127s. Oh my God. If they can't get through 127s, we have to cut this, folks. Mag's now turning. Washing machine started again. What a fun day. Will just not give me any trade. I feel like yesterday. Feels just like yesterday. Still sat in this small size at the moment. Waiting to see if semis get back through 127s after holding 125s. Come on. Every node being sold right now. Fucking semis, man. You're driving me mad. They're going to come back down to 125 now. I'm out of this now. If they break 125s, they come in 120s, and this market gets absolutely fucking nuked. And there's just no way we can get involved. I'm not trading short into a high volume node. All I've asked for the last 2 days is that poke up towards 29,800 to sell. That's all I've asked for. I don't feel like I've asked for too much. It just won't. It will not give it to me. Should have known this. Just this grey box on that daily is just going to churn and 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 churn. Probably all through summer. I wouldn't be surprised if we do it all through summer. Right, back into previous day value area low here. And if they break under this, you know what they're going to go for. Previous week low again, previous week value area low again, previous day low again, and maybe into this blue box, which is the current week's low. What a pain in the butt. It's literally carbon copy. I can't believe it's done a carbon copy of yesterday, to be honest. There it goes. Guess what that is? Goodbye, semis. Goodbye, semis under 125s. And I can't get involved now. It's tough when the market's like this, man. It honestly is tough. It's 2 days in a row. And we're going to keep selling now down into here. And maybe if they break down into here. It's tough. Can I please put the volume grey box on the daily? I've shown it to you. You have your own chart in front of you. You are capable of putting it on. You are a trader and an adult and a grown-up. You are capable of putting it on your own chart, are you not? You are absolutely capable of doing it. So why don't you try doing it? Oh my days. Semi's coming for 120 now. Fuck me. Whole move again like yesterday without me. You should see sweet Globex now. I just don't think there's any way of getting me involved. Maybe if we pop up here, we can try and get short now underneath the high volume node. We've come to the other side of the daily. This is the whole move. It's done the whole move without hitting the upside target before going. Mag filled the gaps, found a bid. Semi staying weak here. The only way I can consider a short is if we pop up towards 540 to 560. And even then we could reclaim now that we've come down here. I don't know. Damage has been done. We're out of position. Incredible. Just incredible. Semi's coming into that 120. So your cover points are coming up. If you did somehow manage to get short in any of this, your cover points are coming up. And if it breaks 120, like I said, the whole thing's going to fall out. And then we can trade right down into this, which is our expected move for the day. And it goes 120. Neg gamma. And this can drive right down without me. Markets be cruel. Yeah, Netflix relative strength again. I know. I don't think I got filled. I don't think it would pull back in for me. All right, next targets are all the way down here now. So the game plan for today was very simple. Right, I just wanted to drive into here. Such a prick. A drive into here, to short to here. If we got under here, a short to here. If we got under here to here. Doesn't come in, doesn't give me the setup. Comes straight into high volume. Can't short a high volume node. That's too risky based on structure. Drops back down. No pop back into short. We're now neg gamma and who knows where we go. There we go. This fucking thing. All right, Semi's holding the bid so far at 120. Oh, sorry, folks, smacking the microphone. We can watch if we travel back up here and we fail. Maybe we can have a go at that. We've now swept overnight as well. So if we fail this neutral zone, somewhere between 540 to 570, maybe we can have a go at a short if we can get up there. Otherwise, I just can't see how we get involved. And what I would say is all the low-hanging fruit has now been taken. The only thing left is an extension all the way down here. The low-hanging fruit's been taken, so we've got to be very careful thinking about the sell now. And MAG's going back upside, back to its midpoint of the day. In fact, it's trying to get up towards the highs. Fun times with Nasdaq, yeah. Fun times with Nasdaq. Bottom of that daily range. Bid back out now. All right, let's see if this can squeeze up a little bit more. Maybe it would give us a chance of doing something today. It would be nice if we can get a trade in today. It's got to come up higher than this, though. Our sellers caught the lows right now. I really want this to come higher, please. Semis are into 120 again. Just be careful. If they break 120, this thing will just snap. Oh, please come up. Please come up. Please come up. All right, MAG showing quite a lot of strength here. They're not too far off today's high after closing the gap. All right, so MAG's closed the gap. There's your New York high. So they're lifting towards it. Semis are bidding off that put wall right now. Here we go. So we'll watch this now and see if they stuff this. Now, the only danger is if semis come to 125s, this will rip much further. So I'm watching this to see how high we can come and then potentially get short into it. Somewhere up towards here, 70s would be good. 40s to 70s would be good if they're going to be very kind. Or not. That was previous day low reject there. We poked above it. I'm still liking 40s to 70s if they can get up there. V-shape is not developing. Everyone relax. Look at the longer time frame. What do you think I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing? Do you think I'm a mug? What do you think I'm doing? Previous day low, semi-check here. I really want this to go 40s to 70s to offer me something. All right, chat's going off. You guys are starting to get under my skin already, and I just want to focus here. The edge of this node is 560. Interestingly, VIX got crushed on that attempt to move inside here. You ain't gonna fucking come up for me, are you? Looking for a second leg higher that I can sell into at the moment. I really need this second leg. Looking for this move here and see if they can get stuck and sell that back down. If they reclaim all of this, it's a no touch for me. If they get back above this node here, I will consider the long back up to high of day, but not beforehand. Not at the moment. Let's see if they stuff this node. Come on, lift, man. So much more strength over in ES right now and SPY. It's held its pivot actually. SPY actually held its pivot really well. Looks way more bullish than the Qs right now. Way more bullish. Mags looks really good. There's semis weighing heavy on this market. I want to see what happens here. Previous day low, semis are at now. Do they reject that? If not, they're going to go 125. Do they reject that? If the answer is yes, we go back to 120. If we break that, we break back down on the day and it's all hell breaks loose. Trying to wait patiently for this to come towards 40 to 70 to make a decision. That's what I'm waiting for at the moment. If it doesn't come up there, it's going to be just like earlier and it's just not going to give me a fill. So that's what I'm trying to wait for, to see if they'll come up there and see if they're willing to sell it there. I want to see buyers get trapped on that push up. Jeez Louise, man. Got me fucking kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. 120 here on semis. Nasdaq, you pain. You fucking pain for 2 days. $120 bid again. Oh my god. If this goes down to 200 without me, that I'm getting off the screens because there's quite literally nothing I can do with it at that point. Max is looking to break through VWAP and get up to high of day and previous day high right now. That's how different these charts are. ES looking to do the same, to be honest. Come on. Lift. Come on. Don't break 120 without me, please. Football's holding so far. Mag's new high day here. Mag's previous day high next target. Mag's breaking out now. Semis at lower day. 120 football. Weighing very heavy on this market right now. Ain't no lift for me, baby. There's absolutely no way I'm getting short down here. Mags is ripping up towards previous day high. We have sellers stuck at these lows, but semis are at 120. If they break 120 and this snaps, it's just going to go without me. It's just what it is. What it is. If it does that, it sucks. But I will not be upset with myself. I'll be upset with the market. I think it's good trading. It just will not come. Semis 120. Tagging again. Oh, I should put the delta on. I forgot. Lots of sellers at these lows, folks. Mag's about to take out previous day high. Right, very different charts right now. Where does volumes come from? All right, so Mag's taking out previous day high. Weakness is here. This has dragged the market down. We've got a Mag 7 lifting higher and a market moving lower just off this. It's crazy. The power of them. Oh, I'm getting bored. Let's turn chat back on. Let's see if we can get this. Oh, that's good timing. Just secured my first ever payout. Past my Blue Sky 200k static drawdown account. Been watching you since February. Finally seeing progress. Thanks, mate. Nice work, mate. Nice work. Okay, here we go. Hopefully, this can lift back up towards that grey box. And then if we trap buyers there, we will look for the sell. If we get over that box and we pivot and hold, we will actually look for the buy. up here, ideally. Oh my God, can we just get up there for goodness sake? There ain't shit I can do with this. Is it me, or is this just like yesterday? It's literally carbon copy of yesterday. Doesn't quite come up high enough, keeps moving lower, and then just does nothing for a while. It's just like yesterday. $120 test again here on semis. Mag looking for high of day, previous day high, sorry. They're literally going the opposite ways. Semis 120, be very careful. If 120 breaks, this thing will flush regardless of mags. There it comes. We're banging on the door of 120. You're through all these sellers now into some of these imbalances at the lows. This is where the sellers got caught. Right, you're testing these sellers, 50s and 23s. It's not the worst PA ever. It's not the worst PA ever. It's just, it's a bit frustrating. It's annoying when there are A to A plus scenarios available and it won't give it to us. It's frustrating, but I don't think it's the worst PA ever. NQ daily SMA. I don't think we're anywhere near it. 200 days way lower, mate. It's got to come to 29,161. We're nowhere near it. $120 tap again. Yeah, it's failing 120 now. If they stay heavy versus 120 now, they will travel down to 115 and this thing can really start to unwind. I'm going to have to zoom out here. Yeah. All right, we're taking liquidity now. All right, so next level would be 117s. No gap there, 117s to 115s now. And then under that, don't get too scared, but you're looking at 102s. So if they stay heavy versus 120, market's in trouble. If they reclaim 120 to 122s, it'll be a fail breakdown. There's more sellers at these lows again. Obviously, I'm not in anything because it just will not give me what I want. All I wanted for this movie was just a two-leg up into here, somewhere in here, to sell back down, so I had something to risk against an RR. What I'm not going to do is get short down into here. Divergence is massive out here right now. So equal weighted mag, 0.5% up on the day. Semiconductors, 2.75% down on the day, equal weighted. Software, 0.5% down on the day. Notable bid in UUUU today. Worth watching. Notable bid in Netflix today. And it looks like bios are breaking out again as well. There it goes, semis. This is all on semiconductors. Oh, my God, man. There you go. Fell out of bed. What a bitch of a market. All right, so what I wanted today, it just will not give it to me. It's 2 days in a row. All right, all I wanted today was this, to get short to here, and if we can't hold the grey box, to get short to the blue, and if we come under this blue box now, to get short down to here. But the way we've built it out is going to make it very, very, very hard. We are going to lose this node on the daily now. If we can't get back inside of 440, 450, 200 becomes possible. It's a massive area now. It's a massive area now. It's going to give us the worst location though. It sucks. It sucks, but there we go. Sellers being absorbed. I mean, hardly, mate. You're talking about what? You're talking about on a 5 seconds? You've got to be talking about 5 seconds, because, I mean, the sellers here and here and here have not been absorbed. Maybe down here for a nanosecond, but like these guys are all out of position. All the buyers, the sellers are in control here at the moment. Let's not get too carried away about what's happened for one second on the chart, eh? All right, Mag's looking for previous day high breakout here. Deep into neg gamma now as well, by the way, in case you hadn't figured that out. On NQ at least. All right, previous day high now swept on the mags. This thing can keep moving lower if it wants. We really need a retest up here for us to even think about trying to get involved with anything at all now. We are like getting pretty overextended. But I just think with it being neg gamma, we can keep falling down to 200. And I just don't know if there's any way I can join. Down here's your next stop. This is where it's trying to get to. So if we can lift up and fail, we can have a go at it. Like I said, with neg gamma, this thing can keep washing if it wants. Your TP's at 280. Yeah, I think that's a good area, mate. That's what I'm looking at. 280 to 200 is the next zone. Your expected move for the day, 280 based on end of day yesterday, 235 based on pre-market, 390 based on the open. We're at 390 based on the open. So in here, in a normal market, we'd expect a bid to form today. Somewhere in there. So your TPs look good. You're at the bottom side of it. Alex, is this not the exact movement on the day you spoke about before the start? Yeah, it's exactly what I was looking for. It is exactly where we've come to. It just won't give me the entry, right? So like we wanted this shove up here to sell into. We were willing to bid for this move here to then get short side. That's the pro trend. All right, we don't want to short the high volume node. Once we broke it, we broke all the way away. We haven't come and retested this LVN for me to get short for this move. We've not retested this to get short for this move. And now we're at low hanging fruit kind of area. So it's done the shape. It's just like, look at every time we've gone, right? There's no fill here. I'm not trading the break of this, right? I'm trying to trade that move there. Same as here. I'm trying to trade that move there. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. Like I can't. This is one of the things we're trading, right? We're waiting to get at least, pocket queens or pocket jacks. It won't give us them, right? It just won't. It's teasing us. It will give us like one queen and then a 2, for example. All right, it just won't give me what I want. CVD divergence at the low, yeah, there is. Lower low on price, higher low on CVD. There is. You are correct. Mags continuing to break out. New high day on the mags. Right, we're going to watch semis into 120 here to see if they reject. So they look like they are. The problem is, if we think about any short around here now, it is literally the worst location of the day, of the week, almost of the month, but not quite. Mags breaking out, continuing to break out, continuing to break down, trying to find a bid. How do I get this out at 280? You need to zoom out, mate. Look on the daily chart. Look at the low. Look at the pivot that we put in on July the 21st, July the 22nd. Look at the low that we put in on August 6th. Look at that area there. Shallow pullbacks when aggressive, yeah. I mean, it's when we're in a squeeze, so we're in a negative gamma squeeze at the moment. So this was what's happening. I'm really not asking for like deep pullbacks when I'm looking for it. It just won't give me anything I want. All right, there's the 120 rejection. Semis, there's a new high day on MAG. They're going to look for pre-market high by the looks of it. So there's so much strength, and it's mainly in Apple. All right, Apple's up 2.44% on the day. Amazon 0.67% on the day up. Google 0.18% down. Meta 0.44% up. Microsoft 0.58% up. Nvidia weighing heavy 1.23% down. Tesla 1% up. Equal weighted just around 0.60% up. Brandon, nice work, mate. Great work. Thank you, my friend. Doing better than me. Sat here twiddling my thumbs. We're watching 120s on semis to see if they get back above that. If they can, then they can get back up to VWAP and 125. And then we'll see if MAG holds the breakout and what happens. Do they sell the MAG and bid the semis? Maybe. Who flipping knows? I have no idea at this point. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get rid of this we've traded through it enough. If anything, when they use one of these like this. Okay, this is the edge of the daily that we just traded into, right here. That daily high volume node, and we are not able to find a bid back inside of it right now. Which makes me think we're going to keep trading lower, all right? We cannot get back inside this right now, and so this is becoming very, very viable at the moment. Problem is the lower time frame structure we built out now is absolutely terrible. Because we have, again, sellers caught down here at the lows. Semis look like they want lower, man. This looks like it's going to go 280 and below. Really does. It just looks like this is going to get nuked here. Mag's turning inside as well, so we might get a pro trend sell here where they go in relation to each other. I don't know. It feels so hard to short near the lower day now. It's very, very tough to even consider something like that. So we're now considering a short down here, which is what, 400 points lower than where I wanted to be a seller. Oh, mate. Bastard. What a bastard. What's under 200? Well, the 20 days down there. All right, so the pivot is basically, I'd say where we are now, 370 down to sort of 240. Under that, 20 days at 160. Under that, we can come right back in, wait for it, for 28,700. And I'm not suggesting we do that today. I'm suggesting that if we can't get back inside of the daily node, that is possible. Because we've had a fail breakout above that high volume node. We're now coming to the low side of that, and they need to find a bid here, because if they don't, this can keep traveling. And retesting that high volume node again here. They still can't get back inside it. If they get back inside this, then that's a re-entry into the daily, and then maybe they get this lift. Right, so I'll consider that if they get back in here, maybe. Otherwise, all the time they're against this, I think the short continues, but I just don't think I want to trade short down here. It's just so low. The biggest danger now is if semis sell at 120 and mag has this failed breakout, which is looking like above previous day high, and they lose VWAP, and that comes inside, both of them will sell together, and that's where the nasty action can happen. And really, above 470, it feels a bit safer to kind of bid on if we get up there. At the moment, everything's being stuffed. Yeah, mag's back into VWAP here. If they go in alignment here, this is going to go 200s or 280s. Down here. So this is your daily high volume node level here. We are so far unable to get back inside of it. And if they reject it and they go into a pro sell together, if these all sell together, that becomes viable. Let me just clean this up. I just don't feel comfortable selling this low. It's very hard to sell down here when I was looking for a sell at 800 this morning. Now thinking about trying to sell 400. Feels very hard to do. I'm scaring you. Why am I scaring you? I'm only saying what is viable in the market. You should be able to see that yourself. That is absolutely viable. Another failed attempt in a push-in. Mag's catching a bid at VWAP, which is good. Semis cannot get, they can't even get up to 120 to test it at the moment. That's how heavy they are. They cannot even get up there to test it at the moment. Entering low, targeting low is high risk. Yeah, because that's exactly my point. That's why I don't feel comfortable doing it. I'd feel more comfortable getting long here if we can break inside and hold. I would. Okay, so let's see here if they can hold pullbacks now over 430 and 470. So the first thing they need to hold is 430. And then if we get strength over 470 and semis break through 120, maybe we have a go. For the long I'm talking about. Because I feel more comfortable doing that down at this level. Here comes the 120 test semis. So let's see, folks. If we can get back above this, we can get going. And get back above this put wall. And then try and attack 22.5s up to 25s. Let's see if we can get long on dips here. If they can get back above 120s, I'm watching carefully. Break over 470 will really help us. Okay, this is the level. Here we go. Let's see. Can we hold over 470s? If we don't, we're going to come back and test 430, 420s again. If we can get over 470 and hold, it's a real good sign of strength. Here's the 120s on semis. They poked above, haven't closed above yet. How long we got left on this candle? 1 more minute. 1 more minute on this 5-minute candle, and that could be a good sign here if we can get above and close above it on a 5-minute. It'd be a very good sign. Here we go. All right, I've put some feelers on now, and I'm going to try and target up towards 540s now, folks. This might want to come back down towards 20s first, just so that you're aware. Come on, 5-minute, close strong up there so you can hold a pullback. And I'm trying to target this LVN. So 509s all the way up to 600s possible. 509s to 580s. Good 5-minute close. Right, let's see if this pullback on this 5-minute holds now. And if we can hold in front of 50s, I'll add. Yeah, added a little piece. Want to see expansion now. Let's get for previous day low. We've got some unfinished auctions here at 17s and 25, so I might take a little piece off into that. And then look to see if we can get back inside previous week's value at 540. Here we go. Great hold from semis on the 120 retest. That's what we wanted. Need this to expand up towards VWAP now on semiconductors. Mag's breaking out through the highs. Everything's in alignment for upside push. So hopefully we can just keep squeezing here now up towards this block. And if we got very, very lucky, they turn it around today, but I doubt it. So we're just looking, our targets right now are basically to try and fill some of this in. So if you want to TP some here already in this edge, you can. I'm just trying to fill some of this in. And then if they want to sell this, I'm open to it, but we'll see. This is just like yesterday. He wants to be short. It will not give him shorts, so he ends up fighting for scraps on the longs. Honestly, it's exactly the same as yesterday. It's so frustrating. Right, into previous day low here. So you want to be taking some profit off here. 17s is the unfinished auction and 25s. Here we go. Beautiful. All right, and ideally we can squeeze all the way up to sort of 540 to 570 here. But you want to be trimming some in these pushes now, okay? And expect a pullback to come into 470s. No, if we can base over 470s would be great. If they need to come to 50s, it's okay. Do not want them back down to 30s. We do have a reason to go down there. I really don't want to see that, but hopefully we can just keep bidding this. Complete this move upside now. Get over this node and squeeze up here. We expect sellers to be hanging out here, right? That's why we're taking some profits here. All right, so your long triggers were on reclaims. Whether you got in there or an add above 70s. Your TPs are here all the way up to here if we get lucky. All right, and really I'd want it to hold this node here now. Now it might need to come down to 50s like I said, but we don't really want that. Come on, complete these auctions above, you piece of shit. Previous day low here. Come on. Come on. Come and take out 17 and 25s for me. There's one of them. Tap that auction at 17. Let's go 25s now, please. We still neg gamma? Yes. Transition is here. All right, above that positive. Transition's here. Still neg gamma. So that's why we squeeze so quickly, right, once they get caught. All right, now we're watching this. It needs to hold 70s, really. If it loses 70s, if you want to risk 50s, you can. There is an imbalance down at 47. I will warn you now, there's also an imbalance down at 11, and there's also an unfinished auction down at 402. All right, so they can still sell this. Like I said, this LVN can stay heavy. But I'm wanting this to bid back out. And I'm wanting 120s to hold on semiconductors here. Wonder if it's got to come 50s here. They're all bidding down at 62s to 50s at the moment. Good hold in front of it for now. Still holding. Let's see. Can we get previous week value area low 540s? That would be magnificent if we could. And previous day value area low 570s. If we got back inside that, it would be a failed auction outside weekly and daily levels. I doubt we get back inside of it. I would imagine there will be sellers waiting up there in that grey box. Okay, so just be aware of that. These here, my anticipation is there will be some sellers waiting here. All right, now if we get back above that, we can think about this whole move up here. No, I'm not joking, but I would expect that there are some sellers waiting here to slap you back down. All right, it's why you got to trim your size here. Didn't finish this auction here at 25, so we should still complete that. Hasn't completed it yet. Mag's still trying to break out of pre-market high here and to fill its old gap, which would be 67.35 on cash. That would be its Monday's gap, not its overnight gap. It would be from Monday. Semi's another good hold of 120. So these are looking good. All right, we've got alignment. And once we got alignment, we got long. This is making our life much easier, isn't it? So much easier when they want to move together. Do I have a code for futures elite? I do not. Here we go, folks. All right, so TPing some more out here into 540s. We're through previous week low. This is previous week value area low. If we get through here, we go 570s, 590s on the runners. This is turning into a really nice trade. All right, we had to be fucking patient for this today. This is just like yesterday. I would expect this to fail up here. It doesn't have to. If they want to go crazy on semis, they can. But I would expect this to fail up here so that you are aware. And we can go over, once we get out of this trade fully, we will go over why we took it, what the failure was, and what the triggers were. All right, semis now through that pivot. Their next level to go to is 125. All right, so if they can break above New York VWAP, they can go 125. We're looking to see if MAG can break out through pre-market highs here. Looking good here. So my next cover here is up at 570s if I can get it. 570s to 590s would be great. Somewhere up there. And that would complete this move. All right, and then we'd have, I don't know, it depends where you entered, but you definitely got at least 100 points out of it. Even if you entered at 75s, then you'll have 100 points out of this. So not bad considering we're playing with scraps. Alex, I can't explain how much I appreciate your help. Been following you since you had about 5,000 followers. Amazing call on the runner. Thanks for being an OG, mate, an early one. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Are those lines levels on your charts one of your indicators? Some of them are, yeah. So this, right, your yellow line is previous day close. That's your cash gap, right? And then the orange line is Globex and Globex. This are your options levels, all right? So we're into neutral zone. Right now, if this is the churn. Now, if we get back above this, crazy enough, we go positive gamma for the session. Bonkers, isn't it? Absolutely bonkers. But it's possible. All right, semis are gunning for that 125 now. They're through the VWAP. MAG is now through pre-market highs. We remain in alignment. We're just holding to see how high we can get. We're almost there. Don't be a dick for a tick here, okay? Make sure you get something out if you haven't already in towards between 70s and 90s. Does positive gamma mean upside grind? It can do. It can also mean more rotational plays. All right, it's more of a rotation, less like big. In negative gamma, we go these drastic moves. All right, once we lost this zero line, see how this was a drastic move, and the squeeze back is drastic. Now, what can happen here is we're more likely to see stuff like this, and then like a little mean reversion, and like this, for example. Yeah, we're less likely to see these squeezes. We're less likely to see these big drops. Now, if we get above all of this, then we go very squeezy. All right, starting to see your first lot of sellers come in up here. Checking the hourly. We're into point of control for the current week here as well, folks. So what we're posing now is the question is, can we get back inside previous day's value area low and previous week's value area low? I would expect the answer is going to be no, but we're about to find out. I would expect there's like we fail. But if we can get inside of here, then we can try and rotate. I know it's hard to believe. We can try and rotate yesterday's value up here. I would imagine there's a failure coming soon. And I will try and get out and then get ready for the failure. Just trying to see if we can come up towards 90s. If we can't hold 540s, I will be out with the runner. And then I'll be looking for failure patterns. Because this is the squeeze. We basically hit targets. If we lose this, then I'm going to look for this move back down here again. Out on my runner there, and now I'm going to look for shorts, folks. If pops now start to fail, I'm going to try and get short. So I'm flat now. Now I'm waiting to see if a short sets up. And if I regret the cut, I'll regret the cut if we get up to 680s, but I'm going to play what I'm playing. All right, so the long trigger here, here's previous week value. I expect failures to happen in here. If they manage to grind this, this becomes viable. I know it's absolutely insane for me to say that, but I have to trade what's in front of me. I don't think we're going to do that. But if they keep holding it, we must respect that. I'm not going to get long here. I'm going to look to see if we can extend and then something like that. And then I'll respect this on the way down. Mag's getting close to a key pivot here as well. Semis didn't quite make it to 125s yet. Building out liquidity here now. Bulls are going to try and protect these 23s. So 40s to 23s, bulls are going to try and protect. I would like this to give it sort of something like this. So I can trade back down to here and then I can hold runners if they do want to let it go, which I doubt, but I think there might be a scalp back down as well. I'm having to live off scraps now. Coming into big levels here, right? PDC, current week point of control, previous day point of control, previous day value area low, previous week value area low, and current day value area high. It's a lot of confluence up here. These are big targets for longs to take profits, which is what we did. The bigger question is, are they actually going to move above all of this now? And we do have very gross. This is, I think I said this on Monday. My concern about this chart at the moment is this setting up. Because this is also, remember, inside the huge daily node, right? My concern is this setting up. I'll just go over this quickly so you understood. Daily, right? What are we doing in here? Oh, surprise, surprise. All right, so we came to the underside of it. Sellers tried to get this move here. It was there for them if they could have got it. They failed to do it. All right, so we traded back inside. That was our trigger. Back inside, that's our trigger. Now we're thinking about longs. Then we have to look for it on a lower time frame to trade back to mean. All right, and maybe back to the mid if we get very lucky. At the moment, there's a good chance we come back down for this again, because we've already had, right? There's your delta divergence at the lows. There's the flip in momentum. All right. There's the long trigger back through, and we're up to here. All right. Now we're flat, waiting to see if they sell this back down, and we just wait patiently, patiently, patiently wait now. Maybe some of you are still long, but I'm not. Trump impersonation for chat morale. I don't think I've got any any of it in me today. I don't know what to say. We're doing Taco Wednesday today. Taco Wednesday. I said we'd destroy Iran, but secretly, I have a deal. What do you know? A deal on the table. All right. Coming into some old put walls here on the mags. I still think, we've now closed that gap. I still think it's got a bit more. It's trying to come into the old shelf at 67.60s, I think, is what it's trying to do. If it reclaims that on the mags, it's actually a very strong move. Semis are still just like building out the liquidity. So if I take you over to those at the moment, can we do this? So you can see like the divergence we've had today. In case none of you are looking at it. All right, this is the strength in mag today. All right, we've been non-stop bid. We closed the gap. Yellow line's your gap. We closed the cash gap and then we bid. All right, and we're coming into some big levels up here. Semis fell out of bed. All right, so they pushed. Never cleaned out. That's where we wanted to get short, up there ideally. Never cleaned out. Fell out of bed. Never back tested. Fell out of bed. Never back tested. Fell out of bed. Failed to break lower. Come back inside 20s. That was our trigger long. All right, into this point. Now they might do this for a bit. If they lose this, pressure resumes. And then the big problem is if I move you out on an hourly, let's just clean this up a second. If we do have new lows come, whether it's today or another day, right, we have a lot of room. All right, so this is where I thought they'd try and bid out. There you go. It's the old gap. We did bid out of that so far. They've got to get back above 25s for strength. Otherwise, if you think about what we're doing, all right, this is now a back test. 25s can now stay heavy. All right, well, we're going nowhere up here. Is there a way to get short if we start to fail? Semi's coming back down to that 120. If we break lower here and then fail to reclaim, I will try and get short. This is what I'm looking for. Be careful if they base here. If we break lower and then we fail to reclaim 50s or 40s, I'll try and get short. I'll watch this now, actually. All right, feeler on here. So I'm short side at the moment, small size. If we start respecting 14s and above, I will respect it. I'm break even on it anyway. If we come back above previous week value at a low amount. Right there now. Because they can keep absorbing this LVN. So I'm short here, looking to see if we can come down into this. Semi's not, mag not quite making it to the 60s where I think the sell starts. Semi's back down into 120s. If they don't bid these 120s, it falls out of bed again. Needs to put a higher low in here for semis. I want it to fall out of bed at this point because I'm short. If you're long, you'd want, if you're still long, you want semis to hold these 120s and bid out. So if we take out 40s here, I'm scratch. There we go, I'm scratch. Can always get back in. Can always get back in. This might be the trade though, so I'll watch this carefully. Was absorption at the highs up there from sellers. Do I have another go here or do I let it lift higher? That's the question. Feels close. Feels really close. I just don't know if they wash it here or they lift to 600 first. Says 120 hold. Will they ever rebalance the semis? If they do, it'd be at the end of contract, September. But who knows? Would you want to give them more weight? It's going to be even more mental market. We give them more weight. All right, mags into that 60 level. This is key now. Now, if they break above this and hold, they really have the chance to shove up to 68. All right, so mags are into a key pivot here. If they break above this and hold, they really have a chance of going to 68. I would imagine mags is going to get stuck up here. I'm still looking for a potential short up here. Semi's back down to 120, so we'll see here. Feels close, man. I just wonder if it's got to lift to 600 before it does anything else. It's semi's bidding. Mag's flying now through that pivot. Here we go. So let's have a look. I'm going to have a look. If you're still long, you look good. I'm going to have a look to see if they fail up here towards 600s. If they don't, then honestly, you can try and get 680 today. It sounds ridiculous, but you really can. It's been a big wash down. You can come all the way back up to that because we're in a range. Big seller coming in here. He's probably not going to get his way. I would imagine he's going to get a little bit hurt here. Here it goes. Here's PDC. And they can keep squeezing this. If they break through 600, I would imagine you're going to go 680. If they break through 600, I would imagine there's a chance for you to go to 680. And then semis will go through VWAP to 125, and this thing will really start moving fast if it does that. Cool. That size of that candle that just came in there. And now there's suddenly a bid on the tape. All right, there's 200 lots stacked who've just come on the tape now. But they're back down towards, actually, there's 3 of them. They're at like, what are they, 40s? Yeah, 40s, 30s, and 20s. So there's someone trying to support this bid now, making it very clear, hey, I want to support the bid here. What a fucking move. That's going to be one of the biggest candles of the day, other than the sell. Straight back through this. Mate, I'm not ruling out 680 now. I'm not ruling out 680 now. You just can't. You can't rule it out at this point. Mag's on an absolute fucking tear. Look at that. Shh. This suddenly pivoted. So 600 is the level. If they get over 600, I would not rule out 680s. If we fail up here at 600, really, I don't feel super comfortable being short side until we move back under 570 and 540. But see, there is a buyer up there at 600 who just got a little bit caught, so it does look a bit toppy up there. Back into PDC here. I will be interested short side if we move back under inside of value for the day. And I've got to be very careful with the structure, but I'm trying to think that this is a range rotation. Goodness, bid. Who's just woken up? Someone's fucking woken up. Jesus. Look at this guy. Yeah, I ain't playing short in this, mate. Someone has just gone, all right, I just want to bid everything. The last 4 minutes, someone's come on the tape saying we're bidding everything now. No, thank you. No, thank you. I wouldn't rule out this. Just recovery of the whole thing. I would, honestly, once you pop these stops up here, I wouldn't rule out that 680 move. There's someone being very aggressive. Here he comes again. He's like just shove, 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 shove. We haven't seen that all day. It started here. It started here. It started at 53s. It started 5 minutes ago. Well, the thing is now, if they hold above 615s, we're thin up to 680s. So your guess is as good as mine now. I would have expected them to fail up here, and some big boy came on the tape. That is for sure. 600's now the level. I will only think short side when we trade back inside value for the session. Otherwise, there's just no way. I'm not going to fight him. I absolutely think 680 is possible. ES breaking out through higher day now. So ES relative strengths at higher day, and that's going to go for previous day highs. Mags is over the pivot and can go for 68. Semis are doing absolutely nothing. They've just stopped. Dead in their tracks. They've gone nowhere now for 20 minutes. Look at this fucking bid in ES. It's mad, man. Like, why are we having to deal with this shit in NQ? Look at this board. Such a good board other than over here. What a shift. I tell you what, those hive days that I thought we'd take out don't look great either if they want to go bonkers today. Lots of orders up at 670. Yeah, honestly, mate, I'm starting to think we're going to go hive day. The bid's so aggressive. Like, it's so aggressive. Look at these guys piling in. I think you're going to take these guys out, and then you're going to get up to 680, and then through there, you might as well come and take this flat top out, because we never came up to the level we should have come to. It all depends how much juice we've got when we get there. That's the problem. Because semis are not moving right now. If semis start breaking out, you know, and getting up to 125 and breaking 125 and looking for that 130 move, then obviously we get moving. Like, obviously we will get moving. But at the moment, they're just stuck. They haven't broken out. Spy going for the gap fill. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That 77265. I agree. And the 5 days up there. But you're through the cool wall now. There's a lot of momentum in this market. Everything's being absorbed. Even up here, they're absorbing everything. Everything's being absorbed. They are being very aggressive up here. If nothing else, it's impressive how quickly they've turned the tape. I'm telling you, if semis just turn on, this thing's going to go. If semis turn on and go 125, this thing's just going to, it's just going to go. Because it's the only thing holding this market down right now. This is where they last absorbed 600. Remember, 600 to 590 is your over under. Buyers will want to keep holding that because they have a seller from earlier caught there. I will not get short unless we come back inside of all of this, and I expect the LVN to hold. So we'll see here. Not interested otherwise. Don't want to bet against someone who's turned the algo on. But if we fail under 590 and start failing sixes on retests, I'll consider it. Really what I'd want. I really don't want to trade this node at all, if I'm honest. If I was going to trade this, really what I'd want is that. I don't really want to trade this at all. Because this is Mr. Death Chop. I don't really want to trade that at all. That's what I'm saying. If they hold above it, they can go because they're pretty thin. If they come below it, we can drop. I don't really want to position myself either way in here, so it might just keep me out of anything right now. Semi's failing VWAP again. Q's coming back down to close its gap again. Yes, didn't quite fill the gap. It is holding. Semi's SPY's holding the 72, so it's flipped its cool right now. Right, I'm going to watch this if they drop it and what happens after they drop it, if they start rejecting, because we do have some excess at the high. We do have a big buyer here. I'm going to have to see how we act when we come down here into this seller, if we then pop and sell or not, or if we just reclaim and go. Be very surprised if we don't take these guys out. Well, good fun OPEX week in a big 4-month value area. My favorite trading. Could I explain why I entered my long? I think we've gone over it about 4 or 5 times. You have to rewind the tape. I did go over it, specifically went over it after we exited. All right, under the 590s. Now I'm going to watch here. If we trade down here to 570s and then we fail to reclaim 600s, I will watch to see if they stuff longs. And I'll look maybe for a starter position short. If we just reclaim 600, there's nothing to do with it because I think then it's going to go and take out 625s and go 680s. They're holding PDC here. They're holding high volume node here. They're holding high volume node, high time frame. They're holding low volume node intraday. If they get back above 600, they're going to rotate. Right, so I'm watching to see if they do this move or if they're going to do this move here, which I think is what they're going to do. I think they're going to try and clean these out, fill this in, and get to there. That's what I think they are going to attempt to do here. I think they've been pretty dirty today with how they've set it up. Spider still holding 72s. Still hasn't taken out previous day high in ES yet. Still think that's a plausible target if the pullback holds. Semis are still holding 120, so there's no failure underneath 120. So that looks like a failed auction under 120s today. They're now bidding 120s. They just can't get over VWAP. So we're still going sideways. This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. We've spent 40 minutes now in a 2-point range on the triple leg. Mag's still going higher. Mags is pulling back at the moment, mate. It's not still going higher. It can still go higher, but I'm just saying currently it's pulling back. I'm going to see if we can get one more trade here. We can get down into here. I'm not going to play the long out of this, if you're wondering. The long position was down here. I will willing to play the short if it sets up. It looks very unlikely at the moment that it would set up. They're starting to do the washing machine. Bid, sell, sell. Nice, great. Nothing like a good old washing machine. All right. Same as before then. Do you start to fail 600 here on pops, or are you just going to hold this LVN? 82 to 64, is that matching up? 85, 64, there or thereabouts. Right, big buyer coming in down here. I would imagine he'll be punished. He's just market bid 120 lot. So I will look to sell this now if pops start to fail. I want to be careful of a 2-leg pullback, but if they pop this up 95 to 600 and I see another buyer come in and him not move higher, I will look to sell. So I'm watching this right here, right now. Right, put some risk on there, small size. Not holding for a break above 602s here. If it goes above that, I expect new high in this pivot because it would be a 2-leg and then go. Semi's just caught a bid again. Fuck me, mate. I can't get any confluence here. Every time I look over, it's shifted. Back to this buy. I need to move under this buy now at 87s, and then I'm going to look, see if we can get into 70s. Semi's holding again. They're going to make this impossible. You can already tell they're going to make this impossible. It's a very tough trade, this. This is only going to work out really well if Semi's let go 120, honestly. And I just don't see it happening, but it was worth it for the tight stop. They've held that LVN again. My stop's at 602s, because if we break above that, then I think we make a new high in this pivot, like I said. So it's worth it for like 2 points or whatever it is. There we go. Might as well go to my stop. Now, I would imagine they should break higher now if they're going to stop playing games. This Alex trades me. I will cry. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Semis can't make their mind up. They just popped up to take my stop, didn't they? You literally just popped up to take my stop there. I don't get why they're not moving this higher. This thing's just got to stop playing. This just failed to break down. It should be coming up here. Look at this. Right. The only time we had alignment was this small period here. Out of then, nothing. They should be trying to attack upside now. Here it goes. Okay, good. I want this to go higher now to validate that stop out I just took. How long we got left here? We've got plenty of time. Okay, so I would say they should come for this break here of 34s and then go for 680s, honestly. The only thing you're going to have to watch is if SPY fails 772 here, you're in trouble. It's very sensitive. So SPY approaching 772, that's its pivot right now on a 5-minute. If it gets through that, it can try and get back up to the highs. Semis are at New York VWAP. If they break this flag, which they've been in for 45 minutes now, then they will look for the 125 move. And then that should lift your market all the way up here if they're going to do it. Semis VWAP again. ES 772s. Rejecting so far, 772s. God, this thing is like painful. They can't make a decision with it. Absorption up there at the highs. I am somewhat surprised right now that they haven't continued this move higher, but ES just got stuck at 772s. Like we said, that would be a sensitive area. Semis having another go at breaking through VWAP. You need semis to break out here through the flag to get 125. If they do that, you should get the move up to the highs. I'm not positioned for anything. I tried the short, it failed. Now they're just churning and just failed VWAP again. Absorption up there again. And that big aggressive buyer who was there earlier, I've not seen him come back in yet. I'm kind of surprised because he's got them by the balls if he wants them. So I don't really understand what he's waiting for. Yeah, there's ES failing 772. So that's your first failure to make a new high right now. That would concern me. Semi's still holding on, but not breaking out. They're right there. They've got the ability to break out. I don't understand what they're waiting for. You've had this huge buyer step in on the tape, and now he's got everyone by the balls. He's not doing it. It's kind of wild, honestly. And failure on semis. I don't really get the game here anymore. I don't think they do either. It's a chop area. Yeah, it's white. It's a grey box. It's a massive chop area. But the buyer just had them all by the balls. He could have completed the move there, and he hasn't. He should have just completed the move. He just should have just forced them all out while he had the ability to do it, and he didn't. Kind of weird. He's going to have another go now, is he? Semi's just absorbed again. I'm surprised that they haven't just ripped through 35 and taken up to 680. Honestly, I'm very, very surprised. They've got another chance to do it. This is where sellers keep absorbing. This just cannot break out. It's been here. Look, this has been here for so long. All it needs to do is do this and rebalance this, and you will get the move long. And they just can't do it. They cannot do it. I think shorts are stuck at the moment, and they should do it. What's this break here? 35 break should get you the lift to 80s, I'd imagine. Semi's back to VWAP again. Attempt number 1 million for semiconductors. SPY's not really playing ball at the moment. You need that to lift and get through 72s. All right, here they go. Semi's having another go. Now, this really should break. You need this. If you are long in this, you want to see this break out and continue now because they've faffed a lot of time here. You need to see this lift through 35s and just get you up to 680, 700. You don't want to keep seeing this faff around up here. I'm not sure why they haven't done it. I don't know what their business is up here, but they should have done it. They should have completed the move for you guys. It's very odd. Obviously, I'm not in it. I was trying to fade it. What is the bubble indicator? It's not available yet. It's still being worked on. And these semiconductors, look at this. How long have they been caught in this range? Approaching an hour now. So you can see 120 is the hold, but they cannot get this move here. That's the move you need. That's the move you need. If you've been long NQ from like down here, remember I got out here, all right? That's the move you need to lift you. Oh yeah, Trump is live. I just see that outside White House. What's he talking about though? He was talking about building for the Oval Office. Oh, bore off, mate. Moderna solar news. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I'm not trading it, so I haven't paid any attention. Doesn't want to go above 630. I know, mate. This is what I'm saying. They've got them. They've got enough of them caught to do it. But you got the MAG consolidating, failing to make a new high right now. You got ES failing to make a new high, and you got semis unwilling to break out. So when that happens, it's going to struggle. This is what I find odd. They have enough of them caught to do it, and they're not doing it. So I don't really understand why you wouldn't just complete the move. You've done so much hard work to get to here. Why not just complete the move while you've got them stuck? But hey, it is what it is. Oh yeah, I'm sure he will end up talking about Iran. I'm sure someone will ask him something. He'll end up saying something that will upset volatility somewhere. Well, we're now just churning this massive level. This is a failure to make a new high, but they're still holding 600s for now. There's no short trigger. There's no real long trigger up here either. I'm somewhat surprised they haven't expanded this up here, but it is what it is. What you're going to do. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. ES and SPY just reset and found a bid on their old 5-minute pivot. MAG's trying to find a bid as well. Maybe if they hold these pivot, they'll start going. Trump speech in top right corner, please. No, sorry. No. Because that would mean I can't see order flow. So, no, sorry. You can just put it up on your screen. It's very easy. You know, as much as I'm here to teach, I also need to see my own screens, right? Still think they got the chance to bid this up. Semi's having another go. Mag's looking much better. Remember, 135 break, I think, gets you to 680. I'm very surprised they haven't already done it. Right into this LVN. I'm very surprised they haven't just ripped this LVN at the moment. Ugh. Do I think ES moves better? No, it's just at the moment we're such a semiconductor focused market, and today the rotation in the market has clearly been out of semiconductors and into everything else. And because of that, because of the weight that they have in the queues, they're holding the market down. Whereas you look at healthcare has been bid, defensive has been bid, energies obviously is getting bid. Everything's getting bid pretty much other than semiconductors. All right. So stagnating the market. You know, you have other days where finance is bid, healthcare isn't bid, mag doesn't move, but semiconductors are bid heavy with, you know, maybe with software or something, and then the NQ works really well. It's just how it is. This market's exhausting. Oh, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's tiring. It's tiring. I agree with you. Top side of this node, 50-day. I can't believe I've made it this long. Oh. Still looking for shorts? Not right now. No. If we leave all this volume, yes, but we're not seeing any confluence of anything right now. We're basing at highs. we look very dangerous for a breakout. I don't really want to be short against that unless we leave. If we're going to leave this volume, maybe, but it's a pretty hard trade. I'd actually like, at this point, I'd rather this market comes right the way up here and we reject value and then can look short. The problem is now is they are finding a bid. They've created an LVN. They've trapped a lot of volume here. They're protecting value area low from daily and weekly. They can keep looking for this move. All right. So whereas earlier, all right, this is different. If we'd failed this trade was viable. All right. But now we've retained value from previous week and previous day. All right. So remember, previous day is in here. Previous week is in here. Okay. And now we're saying, hey, we're failing an auction outside of that. So it's not as valid now. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's not as valid. SPY coming back to initial balance here. You wonder if they find a bid there. Another big buyer coming up here and not moving it higher. Resting liquidity is way higher now into 40s. They can't get up there at the moment. Not really a slow market. Well, I think we've slowed right down here, mate. This is slow, right? Low ATR. Wasn't this morning. It certainly is now. Semi's having another go. Mag finding a bid in front of initial balance right now. Didn't even get down to it. Same with the SPY, didn't get down to it. Holding key pivots. All I know right now is sellers from 80 to 95s can't get a breakdown, and buyers from 25 to 30 can't get a breakout. So we're just trapped in this tiny little range. My feeling is it should be breaking out. They've done so much work, they should be breaking out because we're certainly not breaking down. But semis, I think, are just going to make it very hard. Yeah, 640 is a 400 lot there, and there's another 400 lot at 650. But you know, I think they're trying to drag the market up there, trying to use it as to attract price up there. But we ain't getting there. We just ain't going anywhere. Thanks, Stephen. Hurry, look at Bitcoin. Why? I've got it on a side screen. I can see it's 5.3% up on the day, but why do I need to hurry and look at it? I can see it's moving, but I'm not trading it, so I don't need to take up space. And still trading around this core. No change still. Yeah, still just churning this. Running out of time now as well. 30 minutes left. Failing to break higher, failing to break lower, going sideways, non-directional here. Fat old node being developed on the week here. I do care about crypto, but I'm like, we're watching NQ, right? So don't want to move off it right now in case we get a setup come. All right, another failed breakout from semis. They still can't get above New York VWAP. ES is coming back down to its initial balance. Mags is still holding on pretty well, looking pretty strong. All right, so Mag's still looking pretty good up here. Everything balancing out up here. It's this garbage. Cannot get going. It's had so many attempts to break out and it can't. And that's just slowing Qs down. What's going on with BTC? It'd just be a short squeeze. Be people positioned the wrong size. All right, we'll look at it because you guys keep banging on about it in chat. All right. It would have just taken out a key pivot. There you go. Like, it's really not that hard, guys. Where do you think swing shorts have their stops? Right here. What have we traveled through? That. What's this? Thin. Okay, what's going to happen? Breakout. Okay, there you go. There's your answer. Wasn't that hard, was it? Really wasn't that hard to figure out. You're shorting NQ. I mean, I just don't think it's ready for anything right now. ES can still hold. Right, it's IB high. Mags is still looking to break through high of day. Semis are still not fully breaking down. It's a 50-50 flip here, I think. And you might come down into here and they might rebid it back out. I will wait for it to come back down in here. And if it rejects that, maybe I'll think about the short. I'm not going to take the breakdown here. I think it's too risky. Yes, coming into initial balance. NQ just held PDC again, back to VPOC, so still churning. Semis are starting to fall down here now again, and they might retest 120s. If we come into this LVN and then reject to get back in, I will consider the short. It was like I can't remember where we were earlier. If we come down here and then reject this, I will consider it. It's a very tough trade because of this. Very tough. Kind of long bias all the time we're holding this unless we reject, and that gives an early sign. A lot of my lives are helping your trades. That's good. That's good, mate. Hasn't been a lot to do today, unfortunately. We basically only caught that long. Didn't get any of this. Wouldn't fill me on any of it. Not that I didn't want it, it just wouldn't fill me. I think we've had one scratch here. That's it. Now just waiting. Bitcoin moon. Well, that's probably the exact reason why Bitcoin won't moon, because people say things like that and chase, and it'll probably pull back. It will probably pull back to where it broke out from, because it probably trade fairly normally. Everyone's probably buying it when it's 5.5% up on the day, and then it will come and reset, and there'll be 2% down tomorrow or something stupid. What's the yellow line? That's yesterday's close. Yeah, it's looking heavy here. Into its New York Open. Right, now if they fail to bid this back inside where we've just left, I'll be interested. If they fail now, up here I'll be interested. If they reclaim, there's no short. We've rebalanced, we've held value, we've held point of control from previous day. They would need to fail here for me to be interested short side. Otherwise, they're just going to reclaim and go higher. There it goes. Now, if they get back above 600, they should squeeze it out. So if you're short, you need it to fail 600 here. This is exactly what we called earlier, right? If they get back above 600, they should squeeze it out. Be very careful here. Do not give it room if you were the one who just said I'm short. Do not let it break back above 600 for you. Yeah, it's finding a bid off New York Open. Sellers trying to pile in here. You can see them on the tape. They're trying to fly in. So hopefully this rejects for you. And you can target all the way down here. If we get under value, right, you can target down to VWAP. And then if you get lucky, you get all the way down here today. But I'd be paying yourself counter trend into here right now. And this is for the first time perked my interest after that reaction now. Still holding LVN for now, but that's the first time I've seen buyers come in front of 600 get stuffed. My God, it's slow. I don't like they've left so many unfinished auctions above, I'll be honest. Feels very, 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 very dangerous. But sellers have got a little bit of control here under 600, that's for sure. There's value. There's undervalue. So if you're still in this, you're looking for VWAP now and then previous week value area low. So your next covers are 56s, 40s, and then we can think about whether we can get to 480s. Here's your first TP into VWAP. We'll see if they let go of this neutral zone and travel all the way down here would be really nice. This is the same play as we had earlier. Need all pops to fail now. And ideally they stay heavy around here now. 66 to 74s. And you can just hold for flushes then. Let me just pop up a little bit. I can get some size on. No, of course not. Right, unfinished auction here, 47s. Your next cover is into 41s. and then you can hold for value area low for the session on runners down here. All right, so you're covering some here. I'm looking for a pop-up to fade at the moment, and then if we get lucky, we get down there. But you want to be small size now. Should have been trimming on these moves. And this must stay heavy for sellers to remain in control. All right, they reclaim this, we go back and chop. Okay, and then that would be a lack of selling control because sellers need this move here. Somebody's finding a bid in front of 120s. You're gonna make your life hard. All right, I put some size on there. And I will add up to sort of 680 to 686, if possible. Risky trade, this very hard trade. Come on. Bid coming in here. If we don't make a new low here and get down to 40s soon, I will reduce my size. There's someone coming in on the bid again. I need him to get stuck and us wash down under 50 to get the snap to 40 and 30 so I can get some size off. Come on, wash him out. He just got very aggressive. Come on. Semi's holding the bid again. Semi's holding the bid again in front of 120s. I need a new low now, otherwise I'm reducing core. All right, reduce some core here. Just managing my risk. It's not doing a move. There we go. I need to see this reject 80s. They're trying to squeeze. Semis have suddenly caught a bid. Qs back into PDC. Spiders bidding off VWAP. So if they reclaim initial balance, this trade will no longer work. Adding a little bit more into 80s to 85s here. And if we reclaim, I'll just cut the whole thing. And that'll be my day done. Because this LVN has to reject. If we reclaim high volume node above, then it's a fail break down lower and a hold of the LVN. And then we move back up again. And the trade will be invalidated and they will try and break for the highs, which they should have done earlier and didn't do because they wanted to fuck around with semiconductors today. And here we go. It's probably going to do it. So it's now or never. Otherwise, I'm out. And here comes the bid. Mr. Bid flying in now. Here he comes. I'm out. Tried, gave it a go. Mr. Bid wanted to play games today. Fuck me, mate. What a day. What an awful day. So all the time, he should have shown up here in the same level. He wasn't willing to show up. And now suddenly he's turned back on. So he was here, he went dead, and now he wants to buy it again. Fucking hell, mate. And it's all on semis again. It's literally a one-horse race. All right, suddenly, oh, no, we're bidding that. We're bidding that bottom again. Look at that. Well, if they break above here, they should do the move that they should have done earlier. I don't really understand why they didn't do it here, why they needed to come down and check that. And they had everyone caught already. But either way, that's me done for the day. We've only got 15 minutes left. I'm not going to give any more money back for the session. Still could dump. Could, but, you know, this had the chance to do it, right? It failed to break out numerous times. It had the chance to dump. It didn't. This is ruling the market, All right. If this was ruling the market, we'd be at all-time highs. If this was ruling the market, we'd be at, sorry, all-time highs at daily highs. We're not. This is dictating the market right now. And this doesn't know what the fuck it wants to do right now. And that's absolutely clear, right? This is over an hour of this right now, right? And these are the markets I hate. I absolutely cannot stand it. When we're so dependent on a market which has gone into range, it's a problem. We should break out higher now because it's a failed short lower. It should really break out higher, but it just depends if NQ is going to follow broader sector or if we're just going to keep chopping in Soxal, right? And we left liquidity higher. Like like I said earlier, I was surprised we didn't come up here. There ain't continuation anymore. It's that and then that's it. Okay? It's that and then that's it. Like, I have to just be aware of that. I've got to remind myself of that video we did, I don't know, 2 months ago, where I was like, well, it's see money, take money again, because we're into this. And in here, we are not going to get clean moves, right? We're just not. And I am doubtful we leave this summer. I'm really doubtful we leave this summer. I cannot see us leaving this. I think it's, I don't think it's OPEX pinning though. OPEX pinning will come more, I mean, part of it, but more into tomorrow. I think a lot of this is just that high volume node. We're not going to get follow through. We will not get follow through in that node. And I've got to be cognizant of it because I like trading momentum and we're going to have limited bursts of it, right? Limited bursts. I don't know what they're waiting for. Just lift it, for fuck's sake. Like, what are you waiting for at this point? I don't get it. I do not get it. They keep doing this move where they do all this hard work from here and then they stop. And then they have the shorts trap and they let them out. Maybe they've got some more in now and they've done all this for hard. Just hurry up and do it. You've got everyone caught the wrong side. Just complete it. I will consider. No, I won't. I would, if I hadn't been out of bullets, consider that. I'd also consider that. It should be pushing higher here. There's no reason for it to hesitate. Like, it's just semiconductors. It's literally the only thing causing any form of hesitation here. Mag's new high of day. All right. New high of day. IGV new high day. This thing is just a pain in the butthole. Yeah, Soxal being a cow. That's exactly what it is. It's being a fucker today. Oh, August is a tough, really tough month to trade. It always is. And plus, you're in a midterm, right? So doubly tough. Midterm and August. So low vol in August, always the case. And semis just failed again. Coffee. Thank you. This is fun, isn't it? This grey box is really fun. Oh my God, we love the grey box. Nothing I like better than this grey box inside a grey box inside a grey box. It's like the worst. The absolute worst. Shit fest. What a shit fest. FU grey box, yeah, exactly. Well, this is why I try and avoid them. Green today. Well, you should be green. The main trade was this, right? Other than that, we've just had like, you know, 20, 30 points of stop, but you know, that was well over 100-point trade there. There you go. One small L. Great day. That's it. As long as you're managing risk, you'll be okay. Even if you're flat today, even if you didn't take the long, let's say you took that last short and it didn't work out. As long as you're managing risk, it's actually all you can do. What we would have loved today would have been to get this short up here. This looks really dangerous. Like, that is not a good auction up there. It isn't, which is why we thought we'd get that and then the failure. I think we'll come back for that. I don't know if it'll be today, but I think we will come back for that. I'd be fairly sure we'll come back for that. But it might be a tomorrow trade. You do have FOMC minutes today as well, right? Remember that. I'm just going to double check that I'm not going mad. Yeah, 2 o'clock. Right, that will matter. That will matter. Up over 1,800 between futures and QQQ options. Thank you as always. Nice work, mate. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. Tried that last one. Didn't work out. You're done now. I'm with you, mate. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. You think the real moves happen after this? I think the real moves have already happened today, mate. The institutions are not really trading now. The institutions traded this. That was their move, right? They dumped it. They bid it. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. And just look left. All right. If we get above this, argument for this push. We can't get above it though. I'm surprised. If we get below this, argument to retest towards these lows. We can't get below it though. There ain't nothing to do here. Don't force yourself. The range isn't that big here either, right? Really, other than that last flush, like most of this range. Oh God, can we draw it, please? Right, most of the range is in here, like 50, 60 points. And you'd argue most of it is in this, 40 points. We tagged 2026 value area high. We've actually moved. We've moved value today, actually. So value area high now. I said this would happen, and it's happened. It's happened in today's session. We have flipped point of control now for the year from 25,225. We've just flipped point of control. Guess where it is? It's right where we are now. This is the most traded level of the year now. There's no edge here. So we flipped that whole POC. Look. All right, POC was down here for the year. And value area high was like here somewhere, I believe. All right, we've now flipped it. All right, value area high is now high of year. This, we said this would happen. I talked about it in the newsletter a couple of weeks ago. Right, this dictates a lot now. Under here, pressure. Over here, bullish pressure. This nightmare zone, nightmare zone for me, at least. For you range traders, maybe you absolutely love this zone. For me, that is my nightmare zone. I cannot think about anything worse than that. Yours is delayed. Probably. It only flipped today, mate. It wasn't like that this morning. We only flipped it today. So during this session, I do pay for tick data, so that might be why. But yeah. All right, semis back down to 21s. They just caught a bid in front of 120 again. Spiders came back down to VWAP. Can't reclaim initial balance at the moment, but they are into sort of a range where you expect them to try and find a bid. Mags are still holding near high of day. What are they waiting for at this point on the mags? They've already taken liquidity. Look, mags either fail and come back inside, or they're going to go to 68. They just need to make a decision. They're not doing anything right now, so there's no edge. Maybe a pause till FOMC. You're waiting for FOMC? Yeah, I mean, remember, it's just minutes. It is just minutes. I'm sacrificing my coffee today. Please go click thumbs up. Should always do it as we get on stream. Let's do a giveaway and somehow show some gratitude. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Yeah, how are we doing? I didn't even look today. I'm sorry, folks. Let's have a little look. There's not many of you here. You're probably all bored. There's over 1,000 of you not hit like. So let's get over 1,000 likes. We do a giveaway. Yeah, people get frustrated when markets like this. So don't blame them. Don't blame them. What a bore. Okay. Yeah, what time? I'll go out for lunch. All right, darling. Loves you. Yeah, thank you. All right, this is just looking a bit dead. Buyers are all piling in here. I'm surprised we didn't complete this auction. Surprised we haven't come up here. We're holding this grey box. We're holding previous day value area low. We're holding previous week value area low. So we're not finding acceptance underneath that, but we're not driving higher. We've gone to sleep, folks. We've completely gone to sleep here. How come you get 10k lives after the stream? It doesn't happen after the stream. It depends on how many people watch it. So there's 1,500 of you live now, but lots of people come in for like 30 minutes and then leave, and other people come in and you get them like filtering through. They don't watch it the whole time. Yeah, so the total number of people that watch the stream is 10,000, but we're normally at 2,500 to 3,000 peak at one time. And a lot of people watch it back. You'd be surprised how many come and watch it back to see what I talk about at the beginning compared to what happens and try and learn from it. Okay, back to VPOC again. And if they break above, maybe they get going. Maybe not. It's the same thing that we've talked about a gazillion times. And failed up there again. I am really surprised we haven't made a move out of this. We've been here for so long now. I am surprised they haven't made this move. I was surprised when we were here they hadn't made that move. Stuck at VPOC again. Semis are pushing up to VWAP again. This is a stronger push from semis. Do they do the breakout on lunch? It'd be funny if they do it, if they've saved it all for lunch and they just rip up here, wouldn't it? Nope. Back down again. This thing's still not moving. It's so bad. Name a worse looking chart than semiconductors right now. I don't think you can. All right, they just held PDC again there. Semis caught a bid there on that flush back in again. Big buyer stepping on the tape here at 07s. I'm just going to stay with you 5-10 minutes here just to see if we actually complete the breakout, or if not, we're out of here. I'm not trading it either way. I'm just interested to see if they actually do it during lunch. It'd be kind of gross if they did. All right, MAG finding a bid. ES and SPY bidding over initial balance. Here they go. Semi's coming back into breakout point. Now, will they now break it out? Now, if they do break it out, you should be looking for the run on this liquidity here. All right, they should be trying to run out 35 and 40 for the drive up to 80 and 700. I am very surprised they haven't done it, but they haven't. Here we go. Semis trying for that breakout. They're trying for the flag break now on semis. They are desperate to get it. Can they do it? Here it goes. They're trying. It's looking much better. And if they do it, you're looking for a trade into 24s to 25s on semis. Here you go. So they've repaired this auction at the highs. Fuck me. They literally waited for lunch. All of this. Right, you should get this trade through 35s to 40s, and then your runners are up to 80. Could they have taken any longer to have done that today? Asking for a friend. Big seller at the highs, big rejection block at the highs. I would imagine you'll trade through him at 30s. Probably just pulls back and holds and reloads. I can't imagine they just pause here altogether. You've got to go and take it, guys. You've got to go and take that liquidity. You've done so much work. Here goes that seller getting punished now. There you go. Right, for 35 to 45 break, and then you're looking for 70 to 80s for your TPs. We've been in consolidation a while, so the break should be aggressive here when they break it. They should really squeeze this. They shouldn't faff around here. They should really lift it. And just make sure if you did trade this long, get your stop into the money because you are over lunchtime. Wednesday reversal, yeah, part of the weekly model, correct. But, you know, we haven't finished the day yet. We ain't finished the day yet. And you would want pullbacks to hold above this grey box now. All right, it's that simple. I still think you can take that liquidity. So any pullback that holds 600, 615, maybe even 620, but then you would look for that acceleration higher. Mag's new higher day. Looks good. Looks good here, folks. And just get your partials out. All right. So if you are long, get your limits out, your wish orders out, so that if it does swipe, right, you get fills. Hopefully you get that. And hopefully the dips hold and you get that move. Hopefully you do not. What you do not want is a fail breakout and this washing machine again. That's what you do not want. All right. So if you were long from down here, or don't know where you guys were bidding the LVN, get your partials out to be filled. Do not let it return back into that high volume node. If anyone asks, trading is hard working on days like this. If anyone asks, well, you mean what is trading hard? Yeah, like days like this. Days like this. But I think we've traded it pretty well. Like we managed risk pretty well. We can only trade what's in front of us, right? Would have loved the long, the short up here after the long, but wouldn't come in. We get this long. We take a small stop there. That's it. It is what it is. Our only job really is to manage risk and trade what's in front of us. I think we've done that pretty well. Right, semis have to hold this pullback now into 22s, and then they need to accelerate up towards 24, 25. Mag's continuing to break out through highs. That should really come up to 68s now. This pullback just got absorbed into that seller. So there was a big seller here. Just be aware of that. He is being absorbed. You want the top of this shelf really ideally to hold. Otherwise it comes down here. It's not ideal if it comes to 607s. You just want this drive higher now at this point. That seller is caught at the moment, and ideally he stays caught. Here you go. Give them the stop run. Give them the stop run. Give them the shove up. Please give them the shove up. These guys have been very patient. Stopped you out 4 times. Yeah, I'd walk away. If you had 4 goes at it, that's enough. I normally have 3. I don't mind them if they're break evens, but if you've taken L's on those, it's just tough. It means it won't go. All right, here's the 45s. And ideally, you see a bit more of a squeeze up to 70s, but you're into TP zone here. And ideally, they squeeze this out. And ideally, semis break 24s and rip to 25s for you. And that will really give you the move that you've been looking for if you were long. Yeah, Delta's, well, it's trying to expand, but remember, Delta is only a sign of aggressive participants. So if we have passive sellers up here and Delta expands and we don't move higher, that's your Delta divergence, showing that there are passive sellers here. Just remember that. Here it goes. Come on. All right, so you're looking for the 20, what's this pivot high? 2360 break on semis, and then you're looking for 2425s. Here it goes. Really nice. Really nice. Just took forever to do it for you. All right, now the key here, this was a failed short. All right, failed short here. I'm surprised they didn't hold above that. They didn't, but that was where we stopped out. Once you see that, that's normally your inclination. Okay, they held the LV and they had the chance to reject it. They didn't. This now, all right, because people who are not as vigilant as us are stopping out. All right, remember we were short into this. We stop. People who don't stop, leave their stops here. They're now getting blown out, and that's why this move happens. Right, that failed breakdown allows this move to happen. All right, once we fail to break down, we cover, we hold the higher low. This move is then allowed to happen. They facilitate that move. You are into target zones here, folks. All right, you are into target zones here. You must be paying yourself some money. Ideally, they keep squeezing it for you. Like I said about an hour and a half ago, I can imagine this. You might all laugh. I can imagine this taking out daily highs. It doesn't have to do it today, but this does not look great up there. So this pivot is key. And if you get through that, I'm going to say you're going to make new highs on the day. But your target at the moment is TPing in this, which you're already into. What indicators do I use to show the caught buyers and sellers? That's Spectra Pro, the one you're looking at. You can get that on my website. It's a flow zone indicator for NinjaTrader. Still looking good. They're still holding here. I would move your stop aggressively up though. All right, semis breaking that pivot. So you want to see semis like accelerate now up to 25, and that would get you your move. You should have paid yourself some money. You should be holding runners. Your stop should be in the money, and you need semis to really start going here. You do not want a turn inside here on semis. All right. The reason I'm saying this is what's finally allowed this breakout is this. Right. This is what's allowed the breakout. Right, because we're a one-horse race right now. All right, the amount of times they came up here and failed, 1 million times. Finally, they broke. Right, and this is the sweep, and we are watching for a move into 24 to 25. Right, 25 is an options level as well. All right, so ideally you see this. What you don't want to see is that. You see that, you're done with the trade. So far, so good. I've noticed 25, 50, and 75 in the initial balance percentage. I mean, no, I wouldn't really pay attention to that personally. I mean, maybe on a day like today, because your IB high and IB low are the extremes of the day, that's a very specific move. So really what you're talking about is the fibs of the day. All right. But like 50% of the day. But, you know, this is only because of the initial balance today is set at the extreme high and extreme low. It's not always the case. Why do you keep spamming, Alex? Do you think this legit trades? Please stop spamming. I don't even know what you're talking about. Still live? Yeah, because we're breaking out. I said I'd stay with you. If we break out, I'll stay with you. Can you explain why the bulls wait so damn long just to bid everything anyway? I don't know, mate. It just could be just like a liquidity issue on the triple leverage. Like the reason we're moving is because finally we went into alignment again. Right, we talk about this all the time. The alignment point came here, 11.54. Right, that's the first time we saw semis bid, mag bid, Soxal bid, IGV bid, at least for a moment. All right, before that, right, we were bid software, we were bid mags, we were chopping semis, we couldn't move. Right, so if we think of that about that pivot, 11.54, right, this is the pivot. This is the first time we got alignment. So they bid it all together. It's less about this index, it's more about the pie inside the index of what's moving it. Yeah, IGV's pulling back, but it's green on the day, right? It was 0.5% down on the day earlier, right? It's up on the day now. All right, it's a strong bid. Right, and if they're willing now to bid above this, which is yesterday's IB high, today's IB high, yesterday's previous day high, right? If they're willing to bid above this, they can have another go. If they fail this, and it's your failed auction, it's your classic mid trade back down. Semi to 90% of the pie. I mean, it certainly feels that way at the moment. If they can't hold this pullback into VWAP, then you're going to get that fail break on semis. Mag still looks like it wants 68s. Okay, did we get there on the likes? No. All right, we'll roll over to till tomorrow then. Can I go over the trade plan from here? Yeah, well, we kind of gone over it, right? You have to watch semiconductors. You have to see if this market's willing to hold a bid above this area. If it is willing to do that, then it's going to try and get up to previous day value, because that would be a rotation of yesterday's value. Remember, this is yesterday's value. We've held that value area twice now. They are trying to rotate to the top side. If this is a fail break, which will be because of semiconductors, if semiconductors don't hold, then this trade back down here, right? We chop this again. If they lose the bid here, all the way down to value area low again. All right, so you're bullish above this, you're bearish below this intraday, and you're chop in here. That's it. It is that simple. And you have to watch the other indexes to see alignment. Like at the moment, ES is tearing upside 5, 10, 25, 30, 35 minutes of upside pressure without a pullback on ES. Right, it's gone straight upside. Big bid off the key level. Right, here's your key level. Failed to break down, straight squeeze. Probably needs to do a little bit of this now and then make the decision of whether it retests this pivot or we keep screaming higher. So at the moment, bulls have control. They've taken control, at least in the short term. Still screaming higher. Okay, semis held that pullback to VWAP, and ES is still screaming higher right now. And 720 is going to be the level on QQQ if it can get there to test, which is the equivalent of this. And at the moment, we have buyers caught up there. So you'd imagine there's a retest of this level. That's what they're trying to do. And if they fail that, we come back down inside. If they reclaim it, then I don't think this auction at the high is very good. In fact, I'm going to triple check that, but it looks poor without me even looking at it. It's not the worst, to be honest. 700 and above is mainly buy side. To be honest, 708 and above. So at the moment, that's where they're trying to get. How do you get semis chart on Ninja? I don't think you can you? Can you get individual Ninja's? It doesn't show ETFs, I don't think. If it does, you could look up SOXX, but I don't think you'll get that on NinjaTrader. Right, here it goes. Resqueeze. You're almost at that final target above you. Here it goes. Here's Mr. Bid. There it comes. All right, through previous day or into previous day value area high now. I have it set here on NinjaTrader, to be honest. I have this right here on NT. So you've hit value for the day, and now the only question is, do they reject this value? Do they reject New York Open, or are we about to go up through all of this and take out high of day and then come up to the level where I originally wanted to short at earlier? But you should be out most of your size now. You should be 10% left, if that, if you were long. Oh my gosh. All right. Yes, likely to form some pullback or consolidation in this area. That's what I would expect. Would that still be a short interest area? What, the 800s? I'm far less interested in it now. Far less interested in it because we've taken the low-hanging fruit. Do I think the market can still get stuck there? Yeah. 800 to 900, yeah. But like, the difference is, again, it's the structure. All right. If we'd done this early morning, the low-hanging fruit trade would be to take all of this out. Right. So if we'd done this and then we get this failure, we can take all of this out. We've now taken all of this out. we've created some massive nodes. So if we come up here and it does fail, we have to respect the new structure, don't we? Which wasn't here at the beginning of the day, right? So could we fail up there? We could. Is the trade an A setup like it was earlier? It is not. It is not, because there's not low-hanging fruit anymore. I did not long this trade. No, I did not long this trade. I'm out of bullets, my friend. All right, so I'm sticking to my rules. So this morning I was long trying to get into here, and then I wanted to get short. I was scratch on that. We trade downside, I have to wait and wait and wait and wait, and I get long here. All right, because none of these shorts would come into levels for me to short. So I take this long here and I get out here. I trade one short here, I take a small loss on that. I'm now done with it because I think I had 2 attempts in that. I'm done with it. This is not my, you've got to remember, this is not my like favorite environment. So I try and stick to my favorite environment. Now longs now need to, so you're now failing previous day's value. Longs must protect 627 to 600. If they can't do that, again, it would be a fail break. All right, as simple as that. All right, guys, I think that's it. I think I'm out of here. I'm going to check one more time in case you got the likes up. No, still didn't. All right, we'll roll it over to tomorrow. Good luck trading this afternoon, folks. I would limit your trading. Remember, you've got FOMC coming in, what, like 90 minutes or so? Not FOMC, but the minutes for FOMC. So be aware of that. Be aware of that. You probably will get some volatility. It won't be big like FOMC, but people will be interested in, because in the last Fed rate decision, 3 of the board members wanted to make a hike. What they will be looking for, and what the news algos will be looking for, is the reasons for that. All right. Is it based on jobs? Remember, the new Fed member said we're not using the same data as before. So we'll be looking for clarity. Is it based on jobs numbers? Is it based on inflation print? Is there concern about oil prices and war? Do they even mention the diesel price, which is going absolutely ballistic right now, causing energy to break out? All right. Because there are warning signs there. That's what you need to be looking at. All right, guys, peace and love. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Don't go giving back any of your gains today. Remember, it's just one day in the market. Tomorrow's another day. Take care. Use hard stops, all that good stuff. Peace out.